1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hello, Northwest Georgia, and welcome to your weather on North Georgia Television. A beautiful sunny morning out there today with our overnight lows in the upper 30s. Expect that sunshine to stick around all day. Highs in the mid-60s with northwest winds at 10 to 20, making it feel a little cooler. Clear tonight, lows in the upper 30s again. Around the region today, Calhoun at 38 this morning. Midday, expect 52 and 64 for your afternoon high. Chatsworth, an area low of 37 this morning, 50 expected at midday, and a high of 63. Chickamauga began at 39, midday, look for 53 as well, and a high for 64. Cohutta, 37 this morning, expect 51 at noon, and 63 will be your high today. Dalton at 37 as well this morning, expect 51 at noon, and 63 for your high. And Fairmount, starting out at 38 this morning, 51 midday, and 63 for your high as well. In Fort Oglethorpe, starting this morning at 39, 54 expected at the noon hour, and 64 for your high. .38 in Lafayette this morning. Expect a noontime temp of 53 and then 64 for your area high as well. And Ringgold, a low of 38 this morning, 53 at noon, and then 64. In your 7-day forecast, a mix of sun and clouds expected tomorrow, highs in the low to mid-60s, winds north at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and only a slight chance of rain. Partly cloudy Saturday night with temps in the high 30s with winds light and variable. Then Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, high of 70, south-southeast winds at 5 to 10. Then considerable cloudiness and a 20% chance of showers Sunday night and lows near 50. 100% chance of rain with thunderstorms possible on Monday and Monday night with highs in the mid-60s and southwest winds at 5 to 10. Overnight lows in the mid-40s. Tuesday, mostly cloudy with a slight chance of occasional showers, highs in the upper 50s, partly to mostly cloudy, with lows in the upper 30s overnight. Then on Wednesday, sunny, highs in the low to mid-60s, winds light and variable, lows overnight up in the upper 30s under clear skies. Thursday, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 60s, winds southeast 5 to 10. And overnight, lows will be in the upper 40s. Mostly cloudy next Friday, highs around 70, overnight down in the mid-50s. And now for our area obituaries. Lucinda May Burgess, age 64. Cindy Burgess of Rossville went home to be with the Lord Wednesday, March 13th. Celebration of Life service will be held 2 p.m. Saturday, March 23rd, at Church of God of Prophecy in Rossville. Arrangements are by Heritage Funeral Home and Crematory, Battlefield Parkway. Gladys Adelaide Silvers, age 94. Addie Silvers of Calhoun passed away Thursday, March 14th at Dalton Place Senior Living Community. Funeral services will be conducted Friday, March 22nd at 5 p.m. from the Chapel of Thomas Funeral Home. The family will receive friends Friday, March 22nd from 4 p.m. until the funeral hour at 5 at the funeral home. Graveside services will be held Sunday, March 24th at 2 p.m. in Chandler Cemetery. Robert Lee Carruthers, Sr., age 77. Robert Carruthers of Lafayette passed away Saturday, March 16th. Homegoing celebration will be held Saturday, March 23rd at 1 p.m. at Pleasant Grove Baptist Church in Chickamauga with Reverend William Tramble and other ministers officiating. Interment in Garmany Cemetery. Arrangements by Willis Funeral Home in Dalton. Mr. Jackie Ray Shropshire, age 68. Jackie Shropshire of Somerville passed away Saturday, March 16th at Oakview Healthcare. Funeral service will be Sunday, March 24th at 1 p.m. at New Bethel Missionary Baptist Church in Somerville with Pastor Kevin Roach and other ministers officiating. The family will receive friends at the church 1 hour before the 1 p.m. service on Sunday. His remains will be laid to rest. Ola Mae Duncan, age 88. Ola Mae Duncan of Dalton passed away Monday, March 18th. A funeral service to celebrate her life will be held 11 a.m. Friday, March 22nd at the Chapel of Dalton Funeral Home. The family will have visitation and services at Forex Funeral Home in Oneida, Tennessee on Saturday, March 23rd, and interment will be at Carson Family Cemetery in Oneida. Jack Edwards, age 83. Jack Edwards of Calhoun passed away Tuesday, March 19th at Gordon Hospital. Funeral services will be conducted Friday, March 22nd at 11 a.m. from the Chapel of Thomas Funeral Home with Reverend Dwayne Smith officiating. Interment will follow in Chandler Cemetery. In lieu of flowers, the family requests memorial contributions be made to the College Street Church of God in Calhoun. Wilda Marguerite Withrow, age 80. Wilda Withrow of Calhoun passed away Wednesday, March 20th at Gordon Hospital. Funeral services will be conducted Friday, March 22nd at 2 p.m. from the Chapel of Thomas Funeral Home with Reverend Bob Agan officiating. William John Grawn, age 89. William Grawn of Calhoun died Wednesday, March 20th at his home after an extended illness. A memorial service to honor the life of William Grawn will be held Saturday, March 30th at 4 p.m. from the Chapel of Max Brannon and Son Funeral Home with Dr. Bert Vaughn officiating. The family will receive friends at the funeral home for 1 hour prior to the service. James Revington Bowen Sr., age 72. James Bowen Sr. of Ringgold passed away Monday, March 18th. Funeral services will be held 4 p.m. Friday, March 22nd, at the Ringgold United Methodist Church, and the family will receive friends from 11 a.m. until 3:30 p.m. at the funeral home. In lieu of flowers, the family requests donations be made to Ringgold United Methodist Church. Arrangements are by Wilson Funeral Home. Wendell Eugene Cooper, age 59. Wendell Cooper of Ringgold went home to be with his Lord and Savior Monday, March 18th. He was a veteran of the U.S. Army. Funeral services will be held 2 p.m. Friday, March 22nd in the Chapel of Wilson and Son Funeral Home with Pastor Chuck Smith, Brother Robbie Green, and Brother Justin Gazaway officiating. Interment will follow in New Friendship Baptist Church Cemetery.
Northwest Georgia. I'm Aaron Scott.
And I'm Adam Scott. Welcome back to North Georgia Television News. We are your news covering Catoosa, Gordon, Murray, Walker, and Whitfield counties. Today is National and International Goof Off Day, a day to relax, enjoy, and goof off. Strictly speaking, goofing off is the avoidance of work. So whatever you do on National Goof Off Day, try not to look like you're working.
In the news today, Gold Dome support for needle exchange program. Dalton Police Department is offering a $3,000 reward for information leading to arrest and burglary. Results of a busy hearing session in Walker County, Georgia Council on Developmental Disability applications for membership.
Also coming up, Project 52's effective community partnership with Walker County, a $2.1 million federal grant for GNTC, a young entrepreneur that has not let his different abilities prevent success. Then we'll let you know about some upcoming events here in Northwest Georgia.
There's been a broad Gold Dome support for a bill that would legalize and regulate needle exchange programs. Supporters pointing to CDC report say such programs help slow the spread of dangerous infections and increase the flow of people into treatment. Atlanta Harm Reduction Coalition allows people to plug into a range of services, not just pick up clean needles. She's a doctor and executive director, AHRC, which offers its comprehensive harm reduction services in English Avenue in Little 5 Points. Czar said that folks can come in and have a meaningful conversation, get brochures and pamphlets, and education in regards to treatment centers. They can also be linked to treatment centers, have access to supplies such as free Narcan and overdose prevention drug, condoms, or other supplies. And though part of what they do is currently illegal, many Georgia lawmakers see the benefits and intend to change that with this legislation. Bill sponsor State Representative Houston Gaines, a freshman Republican from Athens, said those who enter syringe service programs are likelier to go to the drug treatment programs.
Besides health benefits, he said there are health care cost benefits. As the saying goes, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. It's better that folks be well than they need expensive treatment for multiple diagnoses. Gaines also said that the state Senate Health and Human Services Committee approved this bill 13-0. If needle exchange services are legal, then they'll be eligible for public funding as well. Czar said she foresees that if this bill passes, other agencies in other parts of the state will be able to offer services as comprehensive as AHRC's. As it is, she said, some of their clients come from as far away as the mountains and the coast. Fulton County has already expressed support for needle exchanges via a 2016 County Commission resolution urging that the state change the law for such programs. Indeed, Zare said that in 5 years she's been at AHRC, there's never been pushback from law enforcement. Instead, she said she sees authorities AHRC as a partner. Under Gaines' bill, the State Department of Public Health would register needle exchange programs and write rules governing and regulating them. The bill would then move to Governor Brian Kemp's desk. So how do you feel about that, the needle thing?
Well, you know, honestly, I think what Czar's shooting for here is actually great. I think it's a great introduction to getting off something if you're on something. Also, the legality issues, I think that they're going to do with those pretty soon as well.
So it really just comes down to admitting they have a problem, and maybe that's where they're seeing that they're going to get their help from.
And exactly, and the introduction is great. Next up, the Dalton Police Department is offering a $3,000 reward for information leading to an arrest and prosecution of the people responsible for a May 2018 armed robbery at the home of Chatton Drive in the Windermere subdivision in Dalton. Investigators believe the perpetrators may have ties to the Atlanta area. On May 30th, 2018, at about 8 p.m., two people robbed a family at gunpoint in their driveway immediately after the victims had returned home from a trip to Atlanta. The suspects pointed guns at several people, including young children, during the robbery. The suspects are described as black males, both under the age of 30, of medium height and build, and wearing dark clothing. The suspects took several pieces of jewelry and other items from an adult female victim, including a Cartier nail bracelet and a gold Rolex watch, a David Yurman gold ring, a white gold diamond tennis bracelet, 2 Louis Vuitton bags, and a pair of Ray-Ban Prada sunglasses. The suspects arrived at the scene as passengers in 2 separate vehicles. The vehicles are described as a newer model white Chevy Impala and a newer model silver Nissan Maxima. There is no description available of the drivers of these vehicles. Investigators believe that these vehicles may be rentals from the Atlanta area. Police detectives determined that the victims were spotted by the suspects in the parking lot of the Phipps Plaza shopping mall in Atlanta at about 6 p.m. The victims were then followed from Atlanta back to their home in Dalton before being robbed at about 8 p.m. Anyone with information is asked to contact Detective John Edwards, the Dalton Police Department.
Wow, that was a pretty big steal. Oh my goodness.
Sounds like a big steal too. I wonder how straight that story is.
Yeah, I do as well, and I'm sure we'll figure it out in the future.
And I can't wait for that update.
Next up, Walker County Commissioner Shannon Whitfield's March 14th meeting was one of the busiest ones in months, as it was preceded by public hearings on 4 issues, including 2 that were quite continuous. The first public hearing of the evening was an Ordinance 010919. The ordinance was drafted largely in response to Commissioner Shannon Whitfield's community forums throughout the county in February. Community blight, often the result of old, abandoned, and/or dilapidated buildings, personal junk and vehicles on personal property, unkept yards and structures, and other eyesores are often health and safety issues, explained Whitfield, as well as devaluing people's property. During the first public hearing on this ordinance 2 weeks ago on a Thursday night, a lot of questions, comments, and criticisms were raised, especially concerning Chapter 34 sections of which would ban any visible junk vehicles on personal property and would also apply to farm machinery on property zoned for agricultural needs. Other sections addressed repair, maintenance, and repainting of outbuildings and structures on one's property in general. Chapter 34 of the ordinance was tabled for further study and consideration Thursday night, and Chapter 12 additions regulating buildings and construction was signed by Whitfield. This part of the ordinance included the condemnation and demolition of structures deemed public nuisances which the owner could not or would not bring into compliance with county codes.
The ordinance which generated the most discussion and concern was Ordinance 00319, which places an excise tax on rooms, lodging, and accommodations. Commonly called the hotel-motel tax and implemented by nearly half the counties in Georgia, this ordinance was protected by the small bed and breakfast, vacation rental, and youth or church camp operators. These operators explained that in order to be competitive with the pricing of similar accommodations in Chattanooga and Dade County, which does not have a hotel or motel tax, they have already cut their rates to a bare bones. An additional 8% tax would mean an overall tax rate of about 20%. The result they feared was many of the small independent operators would be forced out of the business. We thank you for tuning in here at WDNN, and we'll be right back after this short commercial break.
With VidLink, we're taking TV, streaming, and video to the next level with one simple app.
Having all the channels in HD is a huge plus. The quality of the picture on each channel is untouched by anything on the market right now. I would highly recommend VidLink to all my friends.
One thing I love about VidLink is the restart feature. If I turn on the TV and it's 10 minutes into a show, I just hit that restart button and I get to watch the whole thing.
Contact us today to learn how you can get linked.
Hi everyone, I'm Judy Elliott.
I'm Jane Marie Wilson.
And join us for our second season on Southern
Sassy. This season, we are going to do a day in the life of a fireman. We learn how to belly dance and ride horses.
and wear our wedding dresses.
They still fit, by the way.
Only in the front.
So join us for that and much more this season.
Catch us on OptiLink Channel 6
and WDNN Channel 10. Like us on Facebook, because you never know what you're going to find
on Southern Sassy.
I'm Ron McKinney, pastor of Kinsey Drive Baptist Church in Dalton, Georgia. KDBC has been the birthplace of several Christian organizations. It was the birthplace of Christian Heritage School 30 years ago, and through the Academy of Fine Arts, L'Abri Symphonic Orchestra was founded by KDBC members Gene and Betty Lindauer. The ministry of KDBC reaches around the world with the missions of To Every Tribe Ministry, and I was a founding member of North Georgia Fellowship of Christian Athletes in 1992. Majesty is the longest running television program on North Georgia television. For 28 years, we have faithfully proclaimed the doctrines of grace. Kinsey Drive Baptist Church welcomes you to visit at 2626 Kinsey Drive on Sunday morning at 11 a.m. Our website is kinseydrivebaptistchurch.com. To God be all the glory.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton are proud to serve our communities, providing the products you need plus the personal service you expect from your hometown bank. We offer the latest technology, like customized instant-issue debit cards, InstaPay, and more. And with our experienced First Elite bankers, switching to First Bank has never been easier.
Stop by and see what sets us apart.
First Bank of Calhoun and First Bank of Dalton, your bank for life. Member FDIC.
Hi guys, I'm Frank Pinson. I want you to tune in on these following show times to watch 101 with Frank Pinson. The show is based on people doing great things in and for your community, our community. Now those are doctors, lawyers, students, teachers, anyone doing great things. So guys, you know the motto, don't just be great, always inspire, motivate, and teach others to do the same. Now that is what we do, and I hope you tune in to WDNN TV. Just click on the website, or you can follow it right here, www.thefrankpinson.com, and watch any episode you like. See you soon.
Welcome back, Northwest Georgia. Next up, when it comes to a commitment to a clean community and a commitment to helping area residents clean up their properties, there is none more concerned and active than Dr. Chris Robinson and the Project 52 team, a specialized local missions ministry at Covenant College. Dr. Robinson, Assistant Professor of Sociology at Covenant, is the director of Project 52, an organization which helps widows, the disabled, and those at or below the poverty line in the local community. Dr. Robinson founded this organization in 2011 when he was serving as a pastor at Signal Mountain Presbyterian Church. The church's youth group went on various mission trips to places like Jamaica and Nicaragua, but Dr. Robinson found himself wondering why his church needed to go so far when plenty of mission opportunities were right outside his door. Robinson found himself yearning to be more involved in his local community, and from this desire came Project 52. The name represents the organization's goal of completing 52 projects throughout the year, one each week. Dr. Robinson hopes this will keep his missions always on the minds of volunteers instead of viewing helping as an exotic once-a-year extravagance. The organization works with Walker County code officers to paint houses, clean yards, and fill dumpsters for those unable to do this type of manual labor themselves. Code tickets are fines for properties that do not meet county code. These fines range from $10 to $1,000, and properties can be fined daily until they meet the county's standards. When local county code officers issue tickets to property owners, they will often contact P52, which then approaches property owners to assess the situation and offer assistance.
David Rodden, member of Walker County Vision 2030 Advanced Team in the Wilson Road Neighborhood Group, and very concerned with and instrumental in the move to eliminate blight and clean up Walker County, has come to know the Project 52 team well. To date, P52 has picked up and loaded tons of trash from the properties of Walker County residents at no charge to the residents. This year, Covenant's team brought P52 to its 53rd project of the year. Dr. Robinson hopes the relationship between Covenant and P52 continues to grow and strengthen. Anyone wanting to live the Project 52 vision and join the team, or perhaps start an initiative in your community, can contact Chris at 423-598-0915 or through Project 52's Facebook page. A lot of great work going on here through the Covenant College's P52 partnership with Walker County to meet the needs in the community. Project 52 sounds like an excellent solution for the blight problem talked about at the Walker County meeting. And that of many of the other counties of Northwest Georgia, we hope you're inspired and similar partnerships will grow in every community of every county in our region.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's a blessing for these guys to be able to come and help people that really need it.
You know, and it sounds like Dr. Robinson really knows what he's doing. As long as they're not targeting the elderly with fines, I think it's a great thing to do. Great project, great plan.
Don't like the fines. I'm not a fan of that at all. Some people don't have the ability to assess their issue, and I do believe that's wrong.
Exactly. Hoarding is an issue. It's a big thing.
Yeah, that's true. Next up, Georgia Northwestern Technical College received a $2.1 million federal grant from the U.S. Department of Education called the Strengthening Institutions Program to improve academic quality, institutional management, and fiscal responsibility. The 5-year grant is intended to assist eligible higher education institutions to become more self-sufficient and expand capabilities to better serve lower-income students and boost graduation rates. According to Pete McDonald, president of GNTC, student success is the #1 priority at GNTC, and the faculty and administration of GNTC define student success as each student completing their academic program of study on time and obtaining a job in their career field or choice. The proposal, Success Through Coaching and Access. That led to the grant was spearheaded by Samantha Bishop. credentializing and grants and assistance at GNTC. It was designed based on feedback from students, faculty, and staff with an objective to better serve lower-income, first-generation students. Bishop said they are very excited about all the ways this grant will greatly enhance our distance learning capabilities and student support resources.
The grant proposal was based on feedback from surveys, interviews, and input from a program design team. A 5-year strategic plan was created based on the SIP grant. It consists of 4 key activities designated to increase the retention of full-time students seeking a degree, particularly undeserved students. The first activity in the Strengthening Institutions program is the implementation of a video conferencing-based distance learning system on all 6 campuses. The telecommunications technology via live video will allow live interaction and also make distance learning a possibility for courses that previously were only available by traveling to campus. The first 2 campuses to be connected via video telecommunications technology will be the Gordon County campus in Calhoun and the Walker County campus in Rock Spring. Other GNTC campuses will receive these upgrades in later years throughout the program's 5-year period. The second activity is the hiring of 5 new staff members to assist with administration, financial aid, dual enrollment, and students that are considered at the risk of completing their program of study. Faculty development, both in person and through the distance learning telecommunications system, is the third activity in the 5-year plan. Topics will include synchronous interactive distance learning, cultural competency, utilizing on-campus resources, and academic advising. The fourth activity is implementing an institutionally wide data plan to address students' needs, identify gaps in services and improvements to service and course development. GNTC will develop a strategy to improve workflows, policies, and procedures based on data analysis to determine the best ways to advance student success. You know, I think that's a great thing that they're doing here.
I do too, you know what, because anytime that I see any change in education, I feel like it's a bonus because we've been doing the same thing for a little over 100 years, and I mean, it's still not working out for a lot of people. A lot of people don't learn this way, and they need to keep introducing these new programs. I really want to see it implemented into elementary, middle, and high schools. It's awesome that they're doing this in college. I mean, that's great. But the people who need it, the minds who need to be shaped, are really the younger kids.
Yeah, and what you're doing here is you're applying access to the students that actually need help instead of wasting your time on every individual. Some kids don't need help.
That's right. It's a fact. It's very true.
There you go.
Next up, you may already be aware that March is a month is set aside for awareness of intellectual and developmental disabilities, or as the young man in the story says, differing abilities. John Cronin, co-founder of local Huntington social enterprise, John's Crazy Socks, has been named the 2019 Entrepreneur of the Year by the Long Island chapter of Entrepreneurs Organization in a declaration to coincide with World Down Syndrome Day on Thursday, March 21st. EONY Long Island honored the 23-year-old entrepreneur that built a successful business out of a viral social media exposure who also happens to have Down syndrome. A local social sock business operating out of Long Island, John's Crazy Socks, employs people with differing abilities, those diagnosed with a physical, developmental, neurological, mental health, or other impairment, and has made giving back a core part of its business. As a co-founder and the chief happiness officer, John does a little of everything at John's Crazy Socks, but is most notably the face of the brand. Giving tours, meeting with visitors, and making his infamous social media videos, he ensures the order feels personal. Each pair of socks shipped includes a handwritten thank you note, pieces of candy, and discount coupons for future orders. John's main inspiration and reason for starting the business is to spread happiness. Stephan DeSanti, Entrepreneurs Organization, New York, Long Island chapter president, said that John is an inspiration to entrepreneurs everywhere. He took his passions and created a successful and impactful business, inspiring others with differing abilities to find purpose in their lives. And man, that is just absolutely awesome to hear about.
You know, people like John are the kind of people that really put a smile on your face.
It makes the world turn, and that's a fact.
Especially. I'm proud of you here at Northwest Georgia, John. You're doing great things. Next up, the Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities is seeking applications for membership from self-advocates, parents of individuals with disabilities, caregivers, and other community members. GCDD is a 27-member board appointed by the governor and comprised of at least 60% individuals with developmental disabilities and family members. Other members include policymakers that represent various agencies and organizations having vested interest in persons with developmental disabilities. The council is charged with developing, funding, and supporting various initiatives and programs across the state for people with developmental disabilities and their families. The initiatives driven by the council's 5-year plan aim to increase opportunities for independence, inclusion, integration, productivity, and self-determination. If you're interested in applying, please go to gcdd.org to download and complete this application. Apply by April 15th, 2019 to be considered.
Wow, interesting.
Very great thing. We thank you for tuning in here at Northwest Georgia this morning. I'm Aaron Scott.
My name is Adam Scott. Remember, guys,
stay classy.